Vandag gesels ons oor 'n baie algemene probleem wat baie mense raak, veral gedurende die wintermaande. Skurwe en gebarste hakskene. Waarom gebeur dit? Wanneer moet 'n mens bekommerd wees? En wat werk regtig om dit te behandel? Michelle Lou, produkspesialis by Creme Classic Skincare, is hier om my 'n bietjie meer daarvan te vertel. So, vertel vir my. Die belangrikste vraag van alles is, hoekom kry 'n mens skurwe hakskene?
Eers goeiemôre.
Nee, maar hartlike goeiemôre. Dis vir my lekker, maar ek is nou so bekommerd oor die skurwe hakke.
Ja, skurwe hakke is 'n probleem, nê? Nie net kosmeties nie, dit is net dis nie 'n lekker ding om te hê nie. Maar as mens eintlik daaraan dink, die vel onder op die voete het omtrent nie oliekliere nie. En jy staan die hele dag op daai voete, so daar's baie wrywing op jou voete. So die vel daar moet meer gehard wees. So dit maak dit al klaar moeilik dat daar nie genoeg vog is en genoeg olie is nie.
En as jy nou daai ou steentjie wil vat of so en dit wil glad vuil.
Weet jy, daai skrop werk, maar ek het nou al gesien oor die laaste tyd, hoe meer jy skrop, hoe meer stimuleer jy die brein om nuwe vel te maak. So jy moet eintlik nie so baie skrop nie. Jy moet skrop, sê net maar maandag, dinsdag, woensdag los jy dit en dan donderdag begin jy weer skrop. En natuurlik dan moet jy nou natuurlik jou heelbalm ook dan nou opsit.
Dis die ding, want is dit net 'n kosmetiese probleem of kan dit ernstiger raak?
Dit kan ernstiger raak. Kosmeties dink ek gaan dan meer oor die mans en die vrouens wat dalk 'n kamer deel en jy sien daai voete lyk nie so mooi nie. Of jy staan in die ry agter iemand en jy sien hierso het ons nou 'n bietjie hulp nodig.
Ja.
So kosmeties is dit net nie mooi nie, maar as dit dan nou erger raak en dit bars diep en dit begin bloei, kan dit ook sekondêre infeksies veroorsaak. Veral vir mense wat diabetes het en alle bloedsirkulasie probleme ook so.
Dis Michelle, jy praat van ernstig, nê? Dat dit kan begin bloei ook.
Dit doen, ja, want dit bars en is seer en is droog. Dit is ongemaklik.
Maar ek weet gelukkig het jy 'n oplossing, want hy hoor ook mos maar gereeld van balms wat nou 20% of so iets wat se urea bevat en so.
Ja, 20% urea.
Urea. Ja.
Eintlik as jy daaraan dink, as jy in die woestyn is en jy raak sonder water, dan kan jy jouself help met jou eie urea, maar mense moet verstaan, daar's nou nie urea hier in nie,
Ja.
Dit is sinteties, maar dit het verskriklike hoë hydrasie eienskappe. So wat die 20% heelbalm doen van Creme Classic is, dit trek die water in die vel in ook, maar terselfdertyd maak dit ook die vel sag. Mense noem dit 'n keratolitiese effek. So dit maak die vel sag, sodat daar elastisiteit is, laat die vel dan nie bars en seer is wanneer dit droog word nie.
En dit klink so of dit onmiddellik effektief kan wees of baie gou vir jou net verligting kan gee.
Letterlik oornag, jy gaan die volgende dag en jy voel jou hakke voel al klaar beter. So skrop, heelbalm, skrop, heelbalm. Dis hoe jy dit gaan gebruik.
En ek wil net sê, daai woord wat jy nou gegooi het is urea, nê?
Ja,
Ek wil net sê, urea kan ons dit 'n oplossing.
dis net so.
Hoor jy, en kan hierdie Creme Classic heelbalm gebruik word vir eelte? Ook wat jy kry op
Ja.
tone.
Weet jy, mens kry nogal eelte so op jou vingers
Ja.
ook as jy ouer is. So ons het nogal gesien, van die dermatoloog beveel dit ook nogal aan om van daai urea of van daai heelbalm dan op te smeer ook, want weer eens dit maak die vel sag. Mens moet dan nie die vel aftrek nie, maar dit skilfer dan van self af ook. So dit help definitief vir daai seer of vir die tannies wat so baie hikkel, daai eelt ook, jy kan die heelbalm gebruik daarop.
Nog 'n belangrike ding, het hy 'n voorskrif nodig of kan 'n ou dit kry?
Nope.
So gou as moontlik na jouself om te sien en te verbeter.
Jy loop in die rak af met jou plakkies met jou gebarste hakke en jy gaan koop dadelik vir jou hierdie.
Weet jy, maar ek sal ook van hierdie kry dat ek hom net so, ek het nou nie 'n handsak wat ek kan saamdra as julle dames nie, maar ek dink so nou en dan sal ek 'n ou ook net op die skouer tik en sê, my vriend, Eureka, probeer hierdie ene van Creme Classic.
Ek het gecheck, maar jy het nou skoene aan, maar ja, volgende keer sal ek check
Ek sal dit met liefde uittrek op, want kyk, ek sal 'n elmboog kry as ek met 'n skurwe hak in die kooi klip saam met my duif.
Ek sou so hoop, ja.
Michelle, maar nogmaals baie dankie vir die kuier. Ek is bly daar is 'n oplossing, hoor.
Dit was
Baie.
lekker om mee te wees.
Nou ja, moenie wag totdat die hakke pynlik of diep gebars is nie. Gereelde velversorging, goeie bevochtiging en die gebruik van Creme Classic heelbalm kan help om die probleem te voorkom en te behandel. Beskikbaar by uitgesoekte Dis-Chem apteke, Takealot en aanlyn by www.cremeclassic.co.za.
South Africa's early childhood development sector is showing signs of expansion with more children enrolled and increased government support. However, new data reveals that access alone is not enough, as most children are still not developmentally on track by age 5. More than 60% of South African children are not developmentally on track by age 5, raising concerns about early learning readiness. Monitoring, evaluation, research and learning specialist at Breadline Africa, Nyaratso Mutana, joins us to talk more about this concern. Goeiemôre, good morning, and thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning to you and your viewers, and thank you for having me here.
What are your thoughts on the concerning finding that more than 60% of South African children are not developmentally on track by age 5?
I think this statistics is really alarming or concerning, and it is not a new statistic, especially for organizations like ours that are working in the early childhood development sector. What this number means is that by the time that the child enters grade 1, they're already not developmentally on track. It means that they are starting a primary school or even just that basic education continuum with learning gaps. So it is really concerning, because even with the Pew study as well, I'm sure you know that it says that by the time that the kids get into grade 4, or when they 10 years old, 81% of them can't read for meaning. So it is really concerning, because you see that the children are progressing in the education sector, but they are progressing with education gaps. And this is a huge risk, because obviously we know that when they get to grade 12, they are likely to fail, or they are also likely to drop off before the way they get to grade 12. So it's really important that, we focus on early childhood development, and that we provide, all the resources and the support that is required for the children to enter at least grade 1 or the foundation phase with all the knowledge and the skills that they need for them to be able to progress through the education continuum.
So, what are the main factors driving developmental delays in South African children before they enter formal schooling?
So there's so many factors that we are seeing that actually compounds this. So obviously, for instance, Breadline Africa ourselves, we work to support in support of infrastructure, facilities especially for poorer communities in South Africa. We're based in Cape Town, but we work across 9 provinces. But what we also see in these ECD centers is that they don't have adequate or conducive learning environments. Your classrooms, your toilets, your sick bays, or your kitchens, or even playgrounds or jungle gyms that they need. So this is one of one of the reasons why they always they're behind. But you also look at issues like teacher training as well. The practitioners, the ECD practitioners, are not adequately trained for them to be able to teach or to impart skills to the children. And then there's also issues to do with financial instability as well. When an ECD center maybe does not have enough money to run the ECDs, it's really difficult for them maybe to even just feed the children, if you look at health and nutrition, and also inadequate access to resources. So we know that, books, toys, they need this for early stimulation. So if they do not have all adequate resources, then it's really difficult for them to teach their children. So this is really it's sort of like a combination of different reasons why, they are not ready by the age of 5.
Now, we've got a couple of seconds left, but I would like to just refer to the intervention from the government side. Do you think it's enough to fix early childhood development challenges?
I do not think it is enough. I think it needs support from organizations like ours, some foundations and trusts that are investing in early childhood development. So it's not just like the government alone that should be focusing its interventions there. It's everybody that should be bringing in resources, because I spoke, if you look at what we spoke about earlier on, I spoke a lot about, access to resources. So the government should get support from community-based organizations or NGOs that are on the ground to ensure that they get the support, because if we just leave this effort to the government alone itself, it's really difficult for them to respond to the needs.
I'm going to have to interrupt you there. I do apologize, but thank you so much for joining us.